From just about the first time I played Stardew Valley, people have been asking me to fill my field with meteors. My answer to that was always no. The reason my answer was always no is that's because a meteor takes up 6 spaces in your field. On any given night, you have roughly a 1% chance to find a meteor. That works out to about 1 meteor per year. And given that your farm has about 3,400 usable spaces, the math works out to that taking about 577 years. And that is absolute best case scenario if the meteors organize themselves as efficiently as possible. And as my previous experiments have indicated, they just don't work that way. My prediction for that is even with the best case scenario, it would take over 2,000 years. Honestly, I'm predicting over 10,000 to really fill your field with meteors because they're going to spawn every night but try and overlap. They would have to efficiently fill every single space. And there's just no way I'm going to sit through that much time just for a meteor field. So we're going to cheat. I've got a mod that can spawn them in. We're finally going to fill my entire field with meteors. It's still going to be a little bit of work, so don't you worry about that. And I do at least mean my entire field. I'm going to get rid of any buildings out here, any trees, any debris, any clutter. I want it to be 100% pure meteor, as much as they can possibly jam in here. I really don't like the way bombs can't destroy the big things. I know it's not that much extra work, but I wish the bombs would just do everything. That's all of the debris out of the field. Now I just need to check for animals. And there are actually pigs in here. I thought it was just collecting people on this farm. And just to make this video take a little bit longer, here's Linus with a cutscene. Despite the fact that I'm actually married to him on his fowl and he's living in my house, he wants to waste even more of my time. And apparently Robin's not that interested in helping me out today, so let's try this again tomorrow. Yes, I would have gone to the wizard if I had his building stuff unlocked on his file. Anyways, the final piece of this puzzle, getting rid of the barn. The field is now 100% clear, not going to use a tractor or anything for this, just pure meteors from here on out. And actually, now that I think about it, I think the meteors would naturally clear the field as they go anyway. Why do I also have a Maru standing in my bed? Whatever. The only real question from this point forward is, can I get this mod to work properly? If I've done everything correctly, which I think I have, it should only take a few nights of sleep to fill this entire thing with the meteorites we're chasing. We do have one stump currently, we'll get rid of that. I just want to look around to make sure nothing strange has spawned overnight. It all looks okay. The only thing we have on our farm is one hungry little animal. Also pretty good potential for the game to crash right here, so, you know, I'm a little concerned by the way the game didn't really struggle overnight. Which makes me think I didn't do this correctly. We seem to have no meteors, so we need to try this again. There definitely was not a meteor sound overnight, but that doesn't mean it didn't work. I think we're onto something. Now the field definitely isn't entirely full, but we're making pretty good progress. But do you see what I mean about it being really hard to make all the meteors spawn? I just spawned in enough to actually make this work. The entire field should be full, but they're overlapping. So obviously if one spawns here, then another one tries to spawn on top of it, it just doesn't spawn, so the field isn't full. Even spawning in 1,000 per night, this is all we got so far. So obviously we're not done yet. Let's sleep for a few more nights. Let's try 3 nights, 3,000 meteors total. Is that enough to fill the field? The game definitely crashed trying to spawn in another 1,000 meteors on top of what's already here. So I might have to turn the number down every night. It'll take a little bit longer to get the number we need, but if the game's going to crash, obviously we need to do something differently. But let's try one more time since I need to close the game anyways. I've turned the meteor spawn rate from 1,000 all the way down to 50. The game should find this a little more agreeable. The game also didn't like 50 per night, so we've turned it all the way down to 10. That's all I'm asking for, 10 meteors per night. I've officially broken the game one more time, but luckily I know some people a lot smarter than I that know how to fix these things I do. So if I go like that, meteors are gone for now, that solves the current game crashing problem. Now I just need to spend a few days and regain the meteors. As long as the game doesn't crash right now, that is. And of course, it crashed again. So here's a new solution. I'm going to do this on a brand new file that I know actually works. So we can say goodbye to all those strawberries and coffee. There we go, ready for meteors. So far so good, the game did not crash overnight. Let's take a peek at the field to see if anything's actually happening. So far, we got 1 meteor, so that's a good sign. Though that might have already been here, 2 meteors. We'll sleep for a few nights and kind of see how this goes. 10 days later, it's raining. Our field looks like it's coming along pretty nicely. This is perfect. Still, I can walk through the field, so we clearly don't have enough meteors yet. We'll give it another 5 days, see where we're at. Has 5 more days completed my mission? Not quite. We do have more. I can't walk out my front door and into my field anymore, so this is good. Let's try another 8 days, 9 days to the end of spring. We're getting pretty close now. I think another, I don't know, 10, 20 days should have us about there. Let's take a quick walk to see exactly what it's looking like out there though. Because you do get some odd gaps. I'm not sure if meteors can grow in the grass or not. Yeah, you heard that right. Meteors grow. I've also just cleared the grass because why not? You know what? Believe it or not, I think we might actually be at capacity. There are some gaps in the field, but meteors can't fit in there anyway. I don't really see there being any more meteors in this, unless we find a spot that's bigger than 6 spaces, and I'm not seeing it. So this is it. After years of asking and wanting it, I finally made it happen. This was supposed to be a lot easier than it actually was in the end because I had lots of problems with the mod, but here it is, finally. The only thing left to do at this point is mine all these and see how much iridium we get out of it and what kind of value you get. Like I said, this would take many thousands of years to do legitimately, so it wouldn't be worth the time, but we just gotta see the value of it because I can't help it. I really miss the tractor mod right now. It's now 4:30 PM and I've still got about half the field to clear and I'm doing it at this speed. I really forget how big the field is sometimes when I actually have to manually do things. Even now, I'm cheating and using one-hit break with an iridium pickaxe. But so far, the results are encouraging. I've got a full stack of iridium, a full stack of stones, and almost a full stack of geodes. And I'm not even done yet, so that's what's keeping me going. And this is it, the final 5 meteors. Again, I would like to point out it is almost 10 PM. I was doing that as fast as possible, and we're not even done yet because there's another 4. But that was a lot of fun, believe me, it really was. 9.99, another stack, another stack, another stack. We got a few stacks of stones plus the geodes. We're not going to throw the fiber in because it's not a meteor. The value for this wonderful effort that would realistically take you many, many thousands of years. 400,000 in mining stuff, the stones there, 471,000 total, which is not a small amount of money. You could do a lot with all this, but for the amount of time it would actually take you, not worth it. But if you get some meteorites in your field, great. If you do, process the geodes, you'll get a little more money for them. I just don't care because I just don't care. And interestingly enough, look what I found the next day. Well, since we've come this far and currently have a field full of meteors, let's go a little bit further with this. Let's give it just a few more days to get a few more meteors to really fill it out again, and then we're going to harvest it with the tractor. 1, to emphasize how much better the tractor is, and 2, to see if there's really a variation in how much these are worth, because obviously they just don't fit in the field very efficiently. There's gaps everywhere, and I want to see if you can actually get a difference in value. So as soon as I clear out any of the debris that could be occupying a meteorite spot, I'm going to go get a tractor barn built, and then we're going to wait for another 10 days, should about do it. And already, thanks to this mod and mods like it, this gives me a whole bunch of new fun ideas, so we'll see those in the near future as well. Just as I finished clearing the debris, I got the notification that it's a luau today, so I guess tomorrow we're gonna go find Robin. While this may appear like a horse stable, it's actually much more useful. One thing I honestly hadn't considered was the fact that the meteors can go up here. Normally I put my buildings up here so they're out of the way of whatever idea I'm doing. Wherever this tractor barn's going to go, it's just going to be in the way of one single meteorite spot at the very least. So it's just going to go right there, and it is what it is. That will be done immediately. And I think another 10 days should really fill out those little gaps it's hard to get meteors into. The one place I do want to check is the area above my house. Last time I did have a row of meteors along here, so we're not done until that spot is full. Also more debris is growing, so that's fun. I can go clear that out. Debris is gone. We're going to move into the beginning of fall. Check it then. If that's not good enough, we're just going to go straight to the end of fall. Definitely not quite there yet, being that I somehow have a full-grown tree growing right here on my field where a meteorite should be. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, it might not matter if a meteorite hits debris, it should just obliterate the debris and then we have a meteorite instead. Anyways, end of the month, then we're going to deal with this. There we have it. The very last day of the month. I'm sure we had meteors up top before, but I'm also too lazy to go back and check, and I'm not really that concerned about it anymore because I've spent more than enough time doing this already. One question I have currently is, can my tractor break meteors or do I need to reset it? Nope, we're good. Okay, well this will be a fun little time lapse. And that makes the numbers really easy. 1305 geodes, 3900 iridium, blah blah blah. We're going to throw all the rocks away. I know some of them naturally spawn, but not really enough to make a great difference. There we go. How much does this compare to the last one? I think the last one was 470,000. Pretty serious money. This one was so much easier to harvest though. I'm never forgetting about the tractor ever again. 463,000, so slightly less, but we definitely did have a few less meteors. 2 less for the tractor, 3 less above my house. But depending on how the layout in the field, you could get a whole bunch more if you did it efficiently. But that's up to luck. Hey, look at that, I'm a millionaire, and we could do it all again today. Anyways, link to this mod in the description below. It is really cool, but it is a little more involved to work with.